Okay, today we are going to kind of mix together everything we've done so far this week. So we're going to add, subtract, and multiply polynomials. When we do this, the most common mistake that students make is they don't pay attention to the sign that's in the middle, or if there isn't a sign in the middle, they need to make sure they know they multiply. So we're going to go ahead and do 4 problems together, and just make sure you pay attention to what we need to do. So in the first example, we have 2 problems here on the first slide, and the directions just say simplify. Make sure your answers are in standard form. So for this first problem here that we see, we need to look at it closely and decide, are we going to add, subtract, or multiply? Now, pretty easy to see. If there's a plus sign in the middle, we add. Minus sign, we subtract. If there's neither, we're going to go ahead and multiply. And when we multiply these, I like to do my square or my box method because there are 3 terms in each of these. Okay, so that gets to be a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this in. And I'm going to label both sides. So I'm going to put 3x squared plus 4x minus 8 across the top. I'm going to put 4x squared plus 3x minus 8 across the side. We're going to go ahead and fill that in. We're going to multiply. Okay, remember we know we multiply because there's not a sign in between the 2 sets of parentheses. So 3 times 4 is 12, x to the 4th. 4 times 4 is 16. We have x to the 3rd. And 4 times negative 8 is negative 32. We have x squared. Across the second row, 3x times 3x squared is 9x to the 3rd. 3x times 4x is 12x squared. 3x times negative 8 is negative 24x. And then across the bottom, negative 8 times 3 is negative 24x squared. Negative 8 times 4 is negative 32x, and negative 8 times negative 8 is positive 64. So this is exactly what we did yesterday. After we've multiplied, we should be able to go through and highlight along the diagonals, and those should be our like terms. So once I've multiplied, I need to remember to combine my like terms together. So I have 12x to the 4th, and then 9 plus 16 gives me 25x to the 3rd. Negative 24 plus 12 is negative 12. Plus negative 32 is negative 44x squared. Negative 32 and negative 24 is negative 56x, and then plus 64. Okay, so just like we did yesterday, because we have 2 groups of parentheses right next to each other, we need to multiply. In the second problem here, notice something that makes a huge difference here, and that's the sign in the middle. Okay, if I have a plus sign in the middle, that means I'm going to go ahead and add or combine my like terms. So I'm going to start with my biggest exponent here. I have 3x to the 3rd and 8x, undo that, and negative 5x to the 3rd. Okay, so okay, so 3x to the 3rd and negative 5x to the 3rd, 3 plus negative 5 is negative 2. Remember, when we're adding and subtracting, our variables and exponents don't change. Okay, so next biggest exponent is x squared. So I have 5x squared and 8x squared. 5 plus 8 is 13x squared. And then the last one here, we have an 8x and a negative 8x. Positive and negative are going to cancel each other out, so I don't have any x's left. So my final answer is negative 2x to the 3rd plus 13x squared. In the next 2 problems, we're going to look for the same type of thing. Right away, in this first problem on the next page, I see that I have a minus sign here. Okay, remember from Monday that when I have a minus sign, that's really a -1. And it's like I need to distribute that negative to the second group. So I'm going to bring my first group down. And then when I distribute, I get -6n to the fourth minus 8 minus 3n. I can go ahead and combine my like terms, starting with my biggest exponent, so n to the fourth. So 2 and -6 gives me -4. And then a -1n and -3n give me a -4n. And then -7 and -8 give me -15. Okay, so if there's a minus sign in the middle, remember we have to change our signs in the second group and then combine like terms. If there's a plus sign, we just combine like terms right away. And if there's not two groups of parentheses, or there's not a sign in between, we need to multiply. So for this last one, we actually just need to go ahead and distribute. So 4x times 3x squared is 12x to the third. 4x times x is 4x squared, and 4x times 2 is 8x. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try two guided practice problems. Look closely, decide if you need to add, subtract, or multiply, and go ahead and do that. Once you are done with those two, have them checked, and we will give you your mixed practice. If you have any questions, let us know, and we will help you out. So today we did mixed practice. Tomorrow, just a heads up, we will review as a class and then take a quiz before you leave. Have a great day.